Okay, so good afternoon once again. Good afternoon, engineers. Good afternoon, programmers. So later on, we're gonna be discussing about Google Sites. But before that, let's discuss some of the basic HTML scripts in web and that can be used in web designing now. So again, you can follow or repeat after me, and you can use either Notepad++, or Sublime. Okay, so this time, let's go over here with our Sublime.txt or in your Notepad kung if Notepad inyong gamiton. So last time we have discussed a few of the basic HTML scripts, and I guess it's enough for and it's already enough now for you to do on your own. And let's add some HTML scripts for that, para you would be able to design a website. So again, we're just going to focus on the uh, probably contents, no HTML tags, and in terms of the design, um, we are only parang limited lang ato ang ano in terms of, kasi we are not going to touch cascading style sheets and JavaScript. Okay, so this time let's have here HTML. Save this as, let's say this is na naman tayo home last time, no? So let's say we have here kung ano lang, profile, something like that. Okay, so profile.html. Okay, oops, there. So yan. So we have here a basic HTML tags now for ready-made, already pre-generated by the Sublime, and I'm pretty much sure the same pod with Notepad++. I don't know kung the same. However, let's say we are going to name this as like profile, or a title of our web page will be displayed as profile. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, what if we're going to display an information to our website that has a list, or a list of items. Now, let's say for an instance, you want to display a similar to our word, no, na atay nakabutang dito na um, naka-itemize or something like naka-bullet. So we can also do that in a website. I'm sure some of you already knew that. So let's say for an instance, we are going to display different versions of, let's say, Android. Okay. So to start with, we are going to display here, let's say, putang na to siya as Android version, version list. Okay. And then, so we have here OL. So OL means ordered list. So if you ordered list means you are going to list the items in a particular order. Sa daw? Hello? Okay. So can I continue? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sige.
Yes, sir.
Now I have, okay, sige. I have here OL. So ordered list would tell our web, no, our web processor to actually allows us to put the content in our website displaying the list of items. So OL means ordered list. So, and then the items that you are going to put inside of that list is, let's say, um, LI. So LI means the item list or list items. Let's say, and what are the Android version? So let's start with the cupcake. Okay? And then followed by, so i-copy paste na to siya. And then you have donut eclair, eclair, what else? Froyo, gingerbread,
Ensaymada, sir.
insay ensaymada, ensaymada. O sige, go ahead. Kay tamis
Munay.
man. Munay, patay oy. Apil yun. Munay.
Bingka, sir.
Oy, ano na bingka? O, sige, bingka. Liki or round?
Liki,
Ano,
sir.
liki, sir.
Liki. Di naman siguro ni Android version. Murag lahi naman ninyo ang murag gigotom naman. Gigotom na no. Gigotom na no kung apil sa. Okay, anyway. So this will give us, or this will display a list of items to our website in an ordered manner. So let's show this one or open a browser. So, ayan. So, you are able to display there a list of items in that particular order. Okay? So, now, what if you are going to use bullets? So, pwede siya, i-change name mo siya into an or UL naman, UL. So, by the way, it would be better if you indent this together. If you indent the LI to give emphasis on the group of elements. Okay, so let's say for an instance, we are going to, let's say, unsa man atong ibutang dire. Hmm, may mga ano sa engineers. Say tawag ani geodetic. So may mga ano sa geodetic, mga terms that na pwede na to i-itemize.
Topography.
Photography?
Graphic daw, sir.
Photographic? Unsa may mga nasa photographic?
Ay, dili photo, sir. Tupo.
Ay, topography.
Oo, sir.
Okay.
Graphic.
Topography. Okay, topography. Okay, unsa may so types of topography. Ana or topography lang or topography
Lights na.
say bytes na. Okay, sige unsa may naa diri sa topography?
Unsay nadra, Aljon?
Ito na ang pangutan ko.
Nine-line, sir. Nine-line.
Lines,
Pangutan si ma'am. Ay,
Tapos
sa
map.
pa?
Map.
Maps. Okay. Tawag ana.
Mga valleys, oh.
Valley. Ha?
Mountains.
Mountains. Tama. Okay. Isa pa. No valleys and mountains. Kana lang bi nyo yung lisod-lisodan atong live no. Sige.
cliff.
Cliff. Sige.
Wala na lang.
Ati kana na lang. Cliff o mga unsa ni pangpang. Okay? Sige. So padulong na jud ta palalom no kay mountains gikan sa na cliff, pangpang, may gani wa ta nahulog sa iyaha. Okay. Sige. All right. So you just have to change this to UL, no? Unordered list. So yeah, pwede ninyo na siya i-define ang iyang style into lahi iyang say tawag ani. Okay, like for an instance, gusto nimo siya i-square or something, i-UL type or UL style na nimo siya. Okay, there are actually a list of styles there. Mula nang butangan drag UL style. Okay? So yan, that's a simple that's a simple way to display list in our display an itemized list in our what they call this one in our website. Now, what if you are going to put a division inside of let's say for an instance now, di ba mong ingon tag let's say uh, P style ay na lang. So what we are going to do with here is that Okay, can you try there in your ano, can you try there kasi nag-open na og unsa na web nag-try. Nag-try dira sa inyo ah. Wala.
Wala. May
So,
maningog, sir.
moy man
Wala po,
moy
sir.
man yung manay mo try, manay man ni.
Gutong bingka, sir.
Igot. Patay oy. Sige, anyway, let's say for an instance kasi if you're going to put a style of your let's say color no, butani mo P, 'di ba? Just like what we discussed before ba or last week, 'di ba? P style color, let's say ang ihang color is let's say red or blue. Okay? So 'di ba if magbutangan na tong style ang paragraph, if i-save sa nato and then anhita dire ay kani manong paragraph. Kani tanan atong ibutang. Mean as in as paragraph. Yeah. So of course, i-inherit i-inherit niya ang walay close. I-inherit niya ang sa to nalagi saba. Wait. Just wait for a while ha. Tang naton. And then sige, diri nato siya ibutang sa let's say we don't put a paragraph here. Let's say you're going to enclose it here. Okay, so oops, what happened? It's supposed to inherit the color. Anyway, it's not working. So what happened? Okay, so it's supposed to inherit the color, whatever we set for the color. Ma-change na siya. Probably na lang tayo na mystery. And now, if the event na inana siya, you will have to create a division. So which is the div, no? The div tag. So we use the div tag to put a color of for our for this, let's say we are going to separate the division for kaning sa Android list nimo. And then you closed it with the div tag. Okay, so ayan. So everything will inherit the blue but on that particular division only. No, on that particular content only, not all the rest. Okay, but of course if you are going to put the div tag here, the closing div tag, everything will turn out na naka blue po siya tanan nimo na sa paragraph. Okay, so you can have a separate div tag for your kaning topography nimo. So let's say right here. Okay, and then erase na to ng isa ka. Have a div tag here, the closing div tag. So this is the closing div tag for the Android version list, and we have here the div tag for let's say this is red. So the div can be also used to create pwede pa nimo siyang butag background. So background lang ka, background color, background image, depende sa imuhang i-ano ana for that division. Okay, so that is for displaying a simple list of items in your website. Okay, so now what if we are going to display a table? Sige, to display a table, we'll need a to saning is indentation. Where are you indentation? Walay ano indentation. Wala na ako nakita. Anyway, so let's go here. Walay nag-try. Try puno pag may time. Sige. So this
Wala ko
time,
nag-PC ron, sir.
wala mo nag-PC? Pag PC na lang,
Wala.
pag PC. Oh, sige, wala. pag PC.
Burnout,
Ah,
sir.
Brownout? Brownout tayo ba sa inyo, ha?
Diri as ano.
Okay, sige.
Cellphone lang ko.
Sige. Sige, so kung brownout, what tay, ano, ana. So, maghimo tag tables. So, tables can be used to present now data in a good manner na ma-display nato siya na na-organize. Okay? So let's say for an instance sa atong this website mag-display, although static lang siya for now, but in the future if ever na magbutang ta og i-incorporate nato ni siya sa PHP or na programming, and then i-display nimo atong ang the records that are being read from the database is i-fetch nimo siya and then i-display nimo siya sa table. But for now, static muna siya. Okay? Because it's another ano na pod, another na concept or another course or field na pod of study. So to start, we are going to create a table. Let's have the closing tag for the table. Saning i focus. Okay, so the table, you have here the TR. So the TR stands for the table row. So every time na naa kay i-display as a row, so ang row, di ba, the horizontal value, and then katong vertical value, which is mautong column, that is the TD, no, or the data. Sa TD means the data or table data or value in your table. So pwede nimo libutang border, let's say border is equal to 1. Pwede butang nimo color. Okay, later butang nato siya color. Okay, so let's say naghimo ka og table row which is we have here ET. So let's say pet, mag-maintain ta og pet ID. So let's say ET. Okay, pet name, copy paste na nato. We have here name, and then gender, and then age. Nikuha na itong pet. Color. Type, and probably price. Okay, so price. Yeah, so you now have a border. I mean, you now have a table with border 1 with the column. Okay, with the column ID, name, gender, age, color, type, and price. As you can see, you have here. You are able to create a table with that particular column. So now we are going to put row inside of this table. So all we just need to do is you're going to create another, copy paste ang gyapon ta para di ta madugay. You're just going to create another row for that, and the data is going to be anything you would like to put. Say, let's say kisa maning first pet. Okay, pet, tagay kong pangalan.
Aljun, sir.
Aljun. Okay. Male. Age. Edad.
69.
11.
69. Unsay kaso? Unsay kaso ani? Unsay
Rape,
color?
sir, rape.
Pink.
AGB.
Oh, pink. Let Lenny lead. Okay, sige, type. Unsa man ni siya na purag species na lang. Unsa na type siya na pet?
Pitbull.
Gorilla, sir.
Gorilla. O sige, gorilla. Gorilla. Okay. And then tagpilahon man eh.
Piso.
1,500, sir.
Okay,
Piso
grabe
na
po mong piso. 1,000 ato po mahal-mahal ning 1,500. O sige, kabala kay manimalos ta o maghimo magdungag tag another manimalos ta manimalos. O ay kabala ka, sige, ikaw Aljon, kisa man imong gusto ibutang. O ikaw Aljon, ibutang nimo sige.
Lian, sir.
Ha?
Lian.
Pangalan?
Adrian, sir.
Adrian? Adrian, ana?
Edlian.
Edlian.
Ed, sir, Ed.
Edlian.
Ed,
Ed. Nya, Lian.
Li,
L-E.
ana?
Idlo.
Ano, sir?
Eli.
A. Ay,
A-N.
I-A-N.
A-N.
Ay, ana.
Ay, walay I, sir. I lang, I-A-N.
E-A-N, sir.
Ana.
Ana,
Ana,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Edlian. O, sige, panimalos. Sa may gender, ano eh?
Female.
Email na sir.
Pochokan.
Hmm?
Gmail.
Kukan.
Gmail daw.
Si my, nari, si my mail.
Kukan.
Si my mail, ana. Oh, edad.
Ayos lang, sir.
Edad. Kung sa ana, kung mo yung preference, sige.
96, sir. 96.
Saintira na sir.
96. Okay, yang color.
Purple.
Hello.
Yellow.
Grabe ba
Marcos.
katawa oy.
Blue para sir.
Okay, ang unsa man ni siya?
Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu. Shih Tzu. So dog dapat dog. O sige, anyway, sige na lang. Then pagpilahon.
Kwenta na lang sir. Basura.
50 ang tapok. O 50 per tapok.
Kwenta
50 per tapok. Okay, so tama na na. Okay, gara naman ninyo ha. Enter na to and then there. So you're able to display now a list of the records for each of our pet in a table representation. Yeah, and then if you want to go further, like pag-insert na po another or magbutang na po mo another table records, create na po mo another table row, and then what are the data inside of that table row. Okay? So, pwede ninyo na siya butangan og background color inyong table, no? So, let's say BG color equals, so, pwede mo mag-hexadecimal na color, pwede po mo color na kanang color lang jud. Okay. So, antay lain or RGB. Try na to RGB if it works. Sa style naman siguro ni mo ganang RGB. Try lang na to. 255 120 or sa style ra ni siya mo gana. But let's try. Ayun. Buta na tong alpha gamay. Say para di 0.5 di kayo green. Unsa that means wala ni gana ning RGB, pataka lang ni siya. Walay alpha, RGBA. Try na to RGBA. 0.5. Murag yang transparency, dili jud mo ganang RGBA. Anyway, so it still works RGB, but the way we expect it na mo display is dili wala siya ni kana. Okay, so you can have other you can have here mga width, no? Kung gusto nimo sa iyang i-width, let's say gusto nimo 100%, iyang height. So yan, there are actually a lot of attributes. So it will occupy all the spaces in your screen. Okay? So i-occupy niya ang by 100% ang width. So if gusto ka sa height is height kay let's say kuan lang 20. Yan. So 20% ba? Dili. Or mauna jud to. 50%. What happened? Ay na to 100%. Kung mo expand ba siya? Hindi siya mo expand. What happened kaya? Tama mang spelling, no? Tama tong spelling sa height. Tama man, di ba?
Tama man.
Okay, so sige, di mo gana. Okay, pero supposed to be dapat mo gana na. Basin sa akong browser, I don't know. So try na lang ninyo sa inyo ha if it works. Anyway, these tags are, by the way, na ay tags na it won't work in a certain, para mugana dapat na kay width and height partner man na. So, na ay certain tags na it won't work na sa browsers. Depende sa browsers na kaya as a web designer dapat i-check ninyo unsa ang in terms of compatibility issues. Kung kanina tag ba is if it work sa browser na Safari na dili mo work sa Mozilla. So na instances na ana na mo work sa Google Chrome. So mo nang make sure to be safe dapat ang gamito nato ng mga tags is yun no extra careful lang jud ta sa mga tags that we are actually using in our website. Okay, so pwede po na nyo butang background image, butang lang mo background image if in case na amoy image background, no? So pwede po ninyo siya sa pa ba? Table or call span, no? Kana ganing example ngita himo na lang taglain dire sa baba. Dila na to ibutang width. Okay, sige. Direta sa baba. We are going to create a kana ganing na header, na footer, inana atong ibutang sa table na to. Okay, so let's say for an instance, we have your table. Let's say ang border is 1 lang gyapon and then di lang tawag butag width na 50%. Width is 50% na lang. Try sa nato kung and then let's say so dapat katunga lang siya sa atoang website mag-display ang atoang table. Okay, so this time we are going to put a caption. So let's say this is my favorite unsa na pod my favorite na lang pod my favorite artist
Hotdog.
ay favorite unsa kaya
Artist, sir, artist.
sige artist ayo ka basi magbinuan pod mo ani ha.
Dili man, sir.
Dili man sir ilan kayo ang ilan kay sa
Dili lang,
accent.
sir.
Dili man sir
Dali na lang
halata na kay sa accent sa imong sa tono sa imong ano ba. So
Ganun, sir.
next is dili man sir pero padulong ko dito. So let's say we have here T head. So T head means you specified a header for your table. Okay? So let's say ang header nato is okay, sige, bawa na lang naibutan nato artist na lang ni. Artist. Okay, so next is after that inside of the header is ibutang nato si TR. Okay. Let's say TR which is table row. So right here ang ibutang na sulod na pod aning TR would be oops. TR. So and then the data or the value would be yan. So let's say ang kaning T artist putang nato ni siya sa as kay value table data maday no. So you have here T PD. Okay? So we have now a header. So let's say for an instance ang imuhang iano is artist with name with gender but let's say ID name iyahang sabayang gender o iyahang unsa man ato ibutang sa column nato. So dapat natay mag-specify na ta pila ang column span sa ato ang table. So to do that, I mean the column ba kung pila ka column ato ang ibutang, let's say tulo ba ka columns or four ba ang column, so that's 4 column span. So let's say 3 lang. So name lang niya, unsa pay other parang murag other attributes para sa artist. Iyahang name, then sa ba gender o iyahang age o age na lang and then iyahang iyahang mga sa ba movies niya favorite sige sige ana to ibutang sa ato ang usa ni. Okay, so now I-appeal na lang po nato si footer. So, para natay footer. But then again, optional lang if magbutang ka og footer or not. Pero if in case di ka magbutang footer, we can directly go to the body, no? So, let's say, since naa natay header footer, kailangan nato butangan og table body. So, which is, kaning table body would ano ang value natong ibutang as in our so let's say in our table. So 3 man na no. So first value ninyo siya, unsa may first value ninyo na ibutang. Kisang yung first artist inyong ibutang dira.
Influencer.
Duterte, sir.
Artist na rin.
Wali Bayola daw, sir.
Wali ba yun?
Wali ba yun?
Si Digong Digong Wali. Wali. Ana ba?
Wali Bayola.
Bayola.
Tama sir.
Ana Bayola.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sige.
Yes, sir.
All right, sige. Sunod. Unsa pa man?
Age, sir.
59 years old, sir.
59 tapos unsa pa?
49, sir.
49 days, sir.
49 yan.
49.
49.
Okay, sunod. Tulo lang,
Gender,
tulo.
sir. Gender ba?
Gender?
Work or
yes.
ikaw sa gender.
Male. Kana na lang. Okay, try sa ato grand para ay display. So, ay wala day tay artist lang. Anyway, this is what I'm trying to tell you na okay, artist as an artist na siya header pwede nimo na i-center butang ilag center iyang asa to dapit dire butang ilag center. Sorry. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is kaning call span. Call span means i-merge mura siya kung sa Excel pa ni gi-merge na to ang kani na part si Wali Bayola kani no, so gi-merge na to siya dira para it will be say tawag na to basta merging no, gi-merge na to ang three columns into one. So inside of that pwede na pud ka magdungag og another column. So we have here kinsa pa
Coco Martin, sir.
Coco
Martin.
Martin. Tapos
Last
siya ito si
naman, last
Coco.
naman, sir.
Siya ito si Coco.
39 years old.
Sir?
39. Padulong na asa nung 39 sige hala. Tama na. 39 ba si Coco? Sige. Next, sige. Sa to last na lang Rastaman. Pagbigyan na lang nato si kay basi mo hilak. We have Rastaman. Okay, pila edad ni Rastaman?
Yan, sir.
Infinity, sir.
55 in half.
Immortal, sir. Immortal.
But ninyo kung
5.5.
immortal mo zombie kay zombie man to siya no? Half sa to siya? Half human,
Half human, half zombie, sir.
Amo na zombie sir.
Zombie of human.
half human, half human, half zombie.
What you gonna do, sir?
What you gonna do? Sinsa man na?
What you gonna do with a big back boom? Wiggle, wiggle.
So, sige, recorded biya ni. Okay, magbutang tag footer. So ganina wala man siya nag-footer. So footer is terrible. Actually, why I did this is because pwede ka maghimo og website na ang imuhang sectioning using table siya. So imong header na part kasi which is normally ang website na header na footer then na body and then na side no. I mean na sa pika side. So you can actually create that apply that in your website. So let's say kani siya kay lang ni info na lang ni siya. Let's say star star creatives at mantay laing mabutang at artist.com. Okay, ana na lang. Oy, yan. Sige. Foot. Foot. Nasulod na to sa body kanina. Yeah, so there, no? So footer. So header, the body, and then the footer. So if maka-decide mo na using table, pwede niyo na siya pwede na niyo siya i-layout sa inyong website actually. Okay? So that's it for some of the HTML tags na pwede niyo magamit. Now let's proceed to HTML forms. So HTML forms. So let's create another. Murag na yung nagmutaan na. Wait. Yes, Lorena. Zimion. Lorena. Labitaw, Lorena. Question. Say question.
Napindot lang, sir.
Napindot lang. Sige,
Yes,
napindot
sir.
lang din. Okay, sige. So, yeah. Basically, let's say maghimo ta og table na lang ni table.html. Kaning profile ato ning ibutang dito. Sige. So allow me to finish muna this one. Baliktad mo din eh. Okay. And then yeah. Okay, so stay put sa mo dira. Okay? So let's say balik ta diri profile and then mag-create ta og unsay tawag gani profile wait lang ako sang i-irog kay. So mag-create ta og profile website which is using table. So let's start with table. Okay, so in here or right here, what we are going to do is, let's say, butangan na to siya o so every section sa tong table or every section naka-header, naka-footer, ato siyang butangan o lahi-lahi na like lahi-lahi na color. Okay, so let's say, let's start with the table width. Okay, table width equals to, let's say, sa may width ani 100%. Okay, and then let's say border is 0. So dili tawag po tag border kasi dapat ato ang table would be say tawag na to ani invisible ang iyang border. So meaning walay dapat mag-appear na border sa ato ang website. Na dili siya mailhan or dili siya obvious na it's a table actually. Okay? So right after that, we are going to create a first, ER. So, and then let's say in the TD right here, sa mapimbutang tree. Well, let's say this one is koloran na lang nato siya o sige, wait. It's like, oh, okay. Okay, and then ang color ani would be, say color gusto ninyo ani. Mangita tagkuan color sa website. Text sa color. Sa color bigger. Para Okay, so there. Okay. So may nice na color. Okay, kanina lang. Copy na to. And then, tag na to siya dire as a color. Okay. So, ayan. If ano siyang i-ano. So, you have there the color already. By the way, don't mind muna this, as of this time. Kana lang sa kana pa man itong napuhat. Okay. Then, next after to that is, let's say, butangan na to ni siya o welcome lang. So, paragraph lang siya. Welcome to my page. Okay. And then, now, or H1 na to. Okay. So, after this one, okay, deny na to niyan. So, let's say, maghimo taog, there is a pika sa left side, which is TR align, is naka-V align or let's say tab. Okay, ang alignment niya is, it will be placed at the top. And then, say, so, okay. So, after that one is, putangan na to color, another color for this section in our table. So, let's say BG color equals, kita tag-color din. Okay, kani. Okay, sige. So, right here, you have here the, asa tong closing tag diri sa TD. So, mag-closing tag ta diri sa ato ang table column, table kanina part diri sa ato ang table, and then another section for our color, which is, it is aligned at the top, and then with the color of, sa so, color ni mga medyo blue gabay, okay? And then let's say, with color niya is, let's say 50 yapon or 50% day. And then, inside of this block of the table or section of our table, we are going to put right here a value. Let's say, to into strong. This menu. And then, we're going to copy I na lang nato. So, let's say I. And let's say, you have here the my profile. Something like, sa pamandri, home. And then about us. So let's close the TD or the table data for that. And then, yeah, so tangan na to line break para it will be separated or mag-move siya to the next line. So, ma-separate siya with the value for each of the line, or each of the line mag-display ang home, profile, about us in a separate line rather. Okay? So, now, we'll have another table row. So in our another row, we are going to have here the footer. So this is the footer part wherein is same nato sa colors sa cool span gihapon dire. Okay? So here Teddy Colspan equals, so pila man to 2, so dapat 2 gyapon, and then we have PG color equals, kita tag color, sige kanina lang, and then right here, and then post na to. So let's say butang ta diri og at contact me at, so xxcoders at gmail.com .ph. Okay, so let's we nest actually a values our columns here, so i-check sa nato kung nabatay na miss na mga tags. So right here we have table width 100% border to 0, then we have here table row, so opening tag, closing tag. We also have here a table data, so it is column span niya is 2, so color or background color for that is this one, and then yeah, that's it. And then after that you have here the another, this one will display a this naka-itemize, I know not naka-itemize but naka-italicized na home, my profile, and about us. And this is another part sa to ang color, part sa to ang table wherein dapat ihang ang color expected kani, and then with 50, ang width niya is 50. So probably ana lang siya na part. Diri lang siya, or tanaw na to, diri or diri sa tong screen size. And then right after that, you have another table row, this one with this is atong buhaton is ibutan nato ni siya as footer, no? If ano nato ni siya as sa ato ang footer. So ibutang nato ni siya as center. Center. Okay. So let's run this one. Okay, so as you can see, you have there the different colors for your table. So now, pwede nimo ni siya maano ang, this is like your footer, this is like your, kung gusto nimo expand ihang size ani, you can expand it, that what with your footer kani siya na sizes. Pwede nimo siya ibutan diri. Ayan. So it's ayan, it's just a matter of how you arrange the, I mean, with the table, no, pwede nimo siya pwede ka maka-create of a full website na, but that does not need na color. I'm only emphasizing na butangan nimo siya color para it would be visible kung asa to na part ang kana siya na color. Not all by means na pag table siya, table jud ang iyang form or ang visibility niya is dapat table. So dili ni siya necessarily nga table, but then again you can format or lay out your website through a table. Okay, so this time let's proceed to HTML forms. Oh yeah, question so far. So can you guys ready your kato sa mga nag-laptop and nag-PC, ready inyong account sa, kasi mag-Google Sites ta later on. So mas okay to siya na web designing kasi it would not require us marang codes or scripts. So and then also live siya, automatic ma-run na to atong program. Okay. Sige. Try ko naka-view di ay. Try ko nakita. Sige, now let's have HTML forms. So HTML forms are used to get entry from our user. Normally, we get the entry from our user and it will be processed by a programming language, which is normally PHP. Okay, so but for now, we're only going to delimit our design or our website through PHP. No, not the. We are not going to process the entry or entries from the user. We're only going to design a an, a plain HTML forms. So to start with, let's save this one into HTML. Let's say forms and okay. So let's start with HTML and then right here. So you will start with form tag, okay, and then don't you worry, I'm going to provide you with the step-by-step process this, no, para it will guide you all throughout to the development of para makumpleto ninyo yung simple designs or simple web design. Okay, so now we have here input type. So there is this input type or label na label na tags, but we don't use that. I mean, invisible lang na siya. Pwede niyo siya dili gamiton ang label for na type. But this time, we're going to only focus on the types like input type where we can actually input a text, where we can select a mga out of the option box or radio button, checkbox, and all other components or widgets in web designing. Okay, so right here, we're going to have your input type. So let's say this is text. So the input type text, this would mean that we are going to, or we expect that our program would have, would accept a text entry. So let's say first, a pet name or pet ID. And then, so just follow kung unsa tong pet ID nimo. By the way, napo siya usahay ID. I mean, this ID thing here, if you're familiar with the object-oriented principles na programming, ID is, it's a unique ID of your pet ID. Kasi whenever we get, so that the PHP has access to this particular text, kailangan either you call by ID or you call by name. So normally, as a programmer, ang ginabuhat namo is we get the by ID. Yan. So I would really tell my katong kasi diba as I've told you na ay mga na ay sana when in terms of sa software development kung sa website. Okay, I would really tell my katong sa web designer na part ko kasi naga-web design. Kasi I'm not really into web designing. I'm more into programming no, sa logical ko sa business logic sa kumbaga sa functionality and sa functionality, transactions and business logic sa isa ka program. So ika nga I'm not really into designing because I believe so it is not how it works. It is not how it looks, but it is how it works. But of course, design matters, especially for some. Kasi if that's where your user, I mean, the very first time that the user gets to see your design or your website, na medyo enticing siya sa mata and appealing. So that's one of the reasons or factors na ma-hook ang ato ang users or ato ang visitors. So yan. So for now, para di kayo daghan og i-fill in, let's stick to the name. Again, you can either call the ID or by name. But to at least na to ang confusion, let's stick with the name muna. Okay. So let's say the name for this one is ID lang. Okay. And then you can have also the value as a property. So let's say gusto nimo say value di kwaon niya, let's say pet ID ba? Pet ID. Yeah. And then this time we're going to have another type for pet name, pet pet name. Okay, and then ay tanggalon na nato ning pet ID na lang. Okay, ID. So this is like age na lang sa name. And then for gender, we will use another input type. So let's say input type text ID. This is name. This is age. So let's have here pet name, pet age, and then this is okay. So sa gender is i-reserve nato na siya for another input type which is we will use a radio button, okay, or radio. So but for now, erase na nato na. But for now, let's stick to this one. So we have here para na siya break lines or line break for each of the field tangan na to siya OPR. Okay, so i-run na to siya and we would have here. So yan, no, ang value na initially is na siya pet ID, pet name, pet age. So sir, ang design is inaana. So can we make a design na medyo left justified siya or right justified? Yeah, so that's the work now of CSS. Though pwede na to na siya buhaton manually ano na to siya sa style, but that's actually the work of CSS. So first level pa ni sa designing or sa web creation, and then ipasa dayon nimo ni siya into web designer, then siya na din ang mag-design para appealing ang imong website. Okay, so for now, let's stick to that one. Ang importante is we are able to execute this scripts here. Okay, so let's say input type is equal to radio. So for gender, so let's have here, i-copy paste na lang nato ni. Here gender, input type is equal to radio. And then this is gender. Okay, so in sa gender natay selected is equal to true. 30. Okay. And then you have here mag-line break to sa gender. BR. Okay, and then here male.
Hindi, mag-open.
Male, then email. This one is female. And then wala ay selected. And then this will be female. Ay, sige, di na ito tag-line break. So, save and then run. So, you now have gender, male and female. Ayan. Okay? All right, next is checkbox. So, let's say for skills. What are your skills? Input radio check. Okay. So, for checkbox, or for check or checkbox, you have here skills, or let's say sa may mga skills gani singing. Ay, waday na ako nabutag. Wait lang ha. Kaya pala wala siya ni initial. And then ang selected to true meaning automatic selected ang asa na singing. Or okay. Okay, sa pay mga ano sa mga other skills. Dancing. Okay, what else? Sa may mga skills ninyo, dali, faster.
Singing daw.
Eating?
Beatboxing, sir.
Beatboxing. Beatboxing. Ano pa?
Drawing, sir.
Drawing. Ito, kana na lang.
Sleeping.
Ito daw? Balik naman, eating. Drawing.
Sleeping.
Ha? Lifting? Ha?
Sleeping.
Wala ko di maklaro. Okay. So you have here, skills, dancing, singing, eating. O yan, no? Kamo na i-plastar anak pohon. Basta importante na forms. Okay, next. Sa pa man. Nanatay radio, nanatay checkbox. Okay, drop down. Okay, drop down. So, sa drop down, select lang ka. So, you have here. Then, option. So, let's say, option nimo is, so we have here, select type, select name equals drop down. Okay, option, you have here, sa may imong ibutang dire. Status. Okay, so single, married, ano kanina? Widow, inagawan, pang-aagaw, iniwan, inaktan. Isa pa. Isa pa man mo. Ha? Ha?
Dapat na.
Tama na na.
Tama na, sir.
Tama na ni.
Tama na
Tama
kasi.
na.
Masakit pa na kasi.
Okay, sige. Yan. You have here status. You have here single, married, widow, inagawan, mga agaw, iniwan, sinaktan. So, yan. Last na lang para makompleto na nanatay option box. Okay. Emojis mo ning ginagamit sa ano no sa kung makita niyo ng mga website na okay ang yang design. Again, ana na siya yung mga styling. Okay. So, now, the other input type is input type equals submit. Okay. Then, tapos tayo sa pagani sa ano? Submit, input type, submit, reset, sa pagani ito. And then button, kung button, ikaw mag input type, button. Yeah, kaning sa submit, kaning sa ano, kailangan nimo jud din na siya name. So, panganli lang kaya pala siyang submit. Okay. Pwede po ID, but the ID is a little bit technical kayo, so might as well gamito na lang nimo ang button, and then okay, so let's say yahang name is okay na siya, or click. Yan. So let's go here. Ay, wala na yung pangalan atong saan eh. Value equals click. So submit, reset, and click. So kaning submit, nani siya action button daan. Okay, reset is kada ganing utang ka drag i-reset niya ang i-clear niya ang dra. Ang click is ikaw mag-define kung unsay value nimo, like okay ba, save. So let's say save, i-change mo siya into save. Ayan ha, submit, reset, and button. Save, ma-change siya into save. So but this time, since ang name ani is click lang na siya. Yeah, so what else? Unsa pa ganito? text area kung gusto ka og mag ano ka og mga address like text area yon. Pwede nimo butangan og sa pwede nimo nabutangan ang text area nimo og column, row og iyahang column. Okay, so let's say rows is equal to, let's say, 50 or 20 lang ana. And then enter your comment or something like, I don't know, sa imong gusto ano dire, let's say comment or suggestion, comment box. Yan. Yan, oy, asa na to nabutang na ini? PR, ta to PR di ay. Yan, kamo na plaster anak klasa para madali ta. Yan. So, comment box. Yan. And what else? Sa pagani kulang ani. Yeah, these are some of the basic na magamit nimo in password, I guess. Yeah, napot sa password. So, password siya ang iyang type. So, dili siya the same ani na plain text imong maano. So, you have your password. Pwede po nimo ma-change ang masking ana niya. So, by changing it, by changing the styling. Ayan. So, ayan, these are HTML forms. Okay? So, I have here a asa ito? Nakalimutan ko asan ako ito nabutang. Anyway, sige lang. I'm just going to provide you with the step-by-step para you would be able to create a if wala naka-follow today because I would like to discuss the Google Sites now. Okay, so that would be for basic scripting and using HTML. So diha lang sa ta. And then this time we will be using or will be going to Google Sites. Okay, so can you guys prepare your SCJP na account? Katong mga nag-laptop,